And then I'm like, now what? Right? He told me to come back tomorrow. I could royally jack this thing up with one phone call.
What did your mum say when you came back doing this?
She observed the whole, to this day, she testifies to the whole thing of what happened. I come back with these items. I threw everything in the room into like 5 big black hefty bags, not even into the trash, out the front door and just into the yard. Instinctively hung these things up. And then I'm thinking, what do I do? So I'm like, I think I need to pray, right? So I had hung that portrait painting of Jesus up above the dresser where I used to have a big old Bob Marley thing smoking a big old spliff, right? So now there's Jesus. I get on my knees and I'm like, I need you. I think you're real. And I want you. Dude, what happened next? I can only call like divine detox and romance. God flooded my soul with so much mercy because I was actually in shock that the image was like this with a heart on fire. I thought he would be looking at me like, you freak little pervert. I'm going to slap you into an eternity, a lake of fire, you sick little, right? But he wasn't. And if you're God, you know everything about me. So you know all the horrible things I've done with myself, with others. And I lost it, man. I started crying like a human being can't cry. I had so much liquid coming out of my face. It was pouring off my chin, right? And that lasted all day. I got back to the house. It wasn't even 8 o'clock, I don't think. My mom testifies to this. I was in that room all day. When I finally came to my senses, so to speak, it was totally mystical experience. I got up and I laid down in the love seat because there wasn't even a bed for me there. I wasn't there enough to have a bedroom. It was a storage closet with a love seat in it. I laid down and tucked into it. And then this happened. Now, I pray this never happens to me again. And I say this being a priest 19 years now. The devil came, right? I didn't believe in the devil until that point. A creature came into the room and started to manifest itself, like literally take on a physical form. Matt, I was so terrified that I couldn't even move. And if anybody's ever had like sleep paralysis, right? I have that occasionally. It's a terrifying experience, but this, magnify it by a quadrillion. This was a living creature that wanted me. And
what did it look like?
It was fuzzy. It wasn't like it was clear. And it's not like I'm seeing you.
Yeah.
It was just a presence that started to, like looking through a glass type of thing, or that marble glass, or whatever you call it. But it was there and it was starting to get clearer. I was so terrified, I had to close my eyes. I was absolutely petrified and I couldn't do anything. Man, I wasn't a Satanist. I didn't go to like some seance around a pentagram and slash a chicken's throat and sprinkle blood. No way. I never, but I had dabbled in like Ouija boards. Not because I even believed in it. I was the one moving it, trying to get the girl, like date him, I'm spelling it out. Like, yeah, it's stupid stuff, right?
Yeah.
But tarot cards and all that kind of stuff and just stupid stuff. But the devil, I think, thought that I belonged to him, right? As the songs say, running with the devil, all those songs I used to rock out on. And I was so terrified because I'm like, what am I going to do? Can I punch the devil, right? Am I going to take a swing at the devil? That's not going to work. And I couldn't because I was so paralyzed with fear. I did the only thing I knew how to do. From my soul, I screamed out, not audibly, in my soul, Mary! You know what happened? Annihilated. The devil was completely obliterated, man. And I experienced the most amazing peace that I've never experienced to this day and probably will not this side of eternity. And then I heard a voice, a woman's voice. Again, I'm no mystic. It hasn't happened since. The most pure, feminine, motherly voice spoken to me, not to my ear. And it was like trickling over me. And it said this, Donnie, I'm so happy. Nobody calls me Donnie but my mom. Nobody. Who is it? It's not my mom. My mom's in the house somewhere doing whatever. It was just one I never knew. It's the mother of Jesus Christ, right? By telling me that, she's telling me she's my mom. I went to sleep that night so safe and secure. Like the devil couldn't touch me because I was in the arms of Mary. The next day, I go to the Catholic priest and I told him, sign me up. Sign me up, homie, right? What do we got to do here? And he goes, that's not how it works. I'm like, what do you mean it's not how it works? He goes, you got to go to classes once a week for like 6 months at least. I'm like, what? He said, there's no short program. I'm like, fine. When are they? He's like, Tuesdays. I'm like, great. Put me down. It began. The next day, I went, got my hair cut, lost all my power.
Why did you do that? Why did you cut your hair?
I knew I had to change.
Yeah.
Right? The rehabs are right when they say you have to change people, places, and things. They get that right for sure. The cords that I couldn't cut, right, in the past, God came in and Our Lady and just said, yeah, that'll be enough. Snip, cut, done, right? Yeah. All my friends, I became a dork. I was no longer a chick magnet, so to speak.
Yeah.
The girls weren't attracted to me. I lost my hair. Back in those days, long hair, you were a cool dude, right?
Yep.
I lost it, man. Nobody wanted to hang out with me. What I couldn't do, God did. And everything changed. I got a job, right? I mean, I changed my language. I started going to, dude, I would be at church in the mornings before the Filipinos.
That's pretty intense.
For a white boy, yeah. I mean, I was so in love that at the end of the day, I would go to daily mass for my lunch break. I wouldn't receive communion because I wasn't Catholic. At the end of the day, I would go to the Catholic chapel to watch them close the doors. Right? When you're young, you know, when you've got this young romance, you hang up. No, you hang up. Right? I couldn't get enough of Jesus. I'd be looking through the window. I'll see you tomorrow. I was madly in love, dude.
I don't want to get into my story, and I don't know how much of it you know, but that was me too. I was 17 years old, conversion to Christ. I would skip class, go sit in the chapel, and I was just in love.
Yeah.
And I looked weird, like people in love look.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And it was so freeing because I was going through that divine detox in God's rehab, which is the Catholic Church. And then when I did become Catholic, oh my goodness, right? I mean, the graces that were being given, the medication was free, the best meds ever, the best counseling, psychotherapy possible in the sacraments, the teachings of the church, the wisdom of the saints. I entered into fasting, which I was doing before I became Catholic in that phase. Prayer squared, right? The ability to transform your life, God to transform your life through prayer and fasting. Holy moly.
Was it like such an infusion of grace that you found it easy to avoid those former sins during that period of time?
Yeah, during that time. I call it the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, that was true of me too. It was almost like I wasn't aware that I was even being tempted. That wasn't even a thing.
That's right.
After it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The honeymoon's over and now it's on to the commitment and sacrifice of it.
Yeah. Golly. What was your mum and dad and brother like during this phase? Was she thinking that this was maybe a phase or that?
My mom didn't, but my dad did. Because remember, he was on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And he was out for like a 6-month deployment. So she's writing him letters saying, honey, you're not going to believe what's happened, to Donnie. And he was writing back like, I don't. And then when he came back and when I became Catholic, because my baptism had been valid as an Episcopalian church when I was 10. So I was just confirmed and everything, First Holy Communion. I mean, we all were crying. It was just, it was amazing.
Yeah. Did you make any friends your age during this time who were Catholic?
I did, yeah. And that was interesting because they were Filipino. And one of them was a Filipino girl that I was like super attracted to because I'm like, oh man, she's like the dream wife. She's beautiful. She wants to have babies. She's super Catholic.
She wants to cook for me.
Everything, except balut. I don't do balut, that little chicken egg thing. Ugh,
I don't know what that is.
I like my eggs chicken cooked,
Okay.
So that was like a little, I wouldn't call it a distraction because nobody had bad intentions or anything. But she ended up becoming a nun. So it was kind of funny. Yeah. So, but yeah, I got some good friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Golly, it's amazing. My mum was meeting with my bishop because she thought I was brainwashed.
Wow.
After World Youth Day, Rome, that's where I went. That's where I had that experience.
No
Isn't that
way.
nuts?
Dude,
I think she was more concerned. Before I was like dressed all in black.
Yeah.
I'd write these like suicide poems hanging up on my wall just to cry for attention. It was nothing that serious, I don't think. But
wow.
Isn't that funny, eh?
That's right, because we're about 10 years different, right?
I'm 38.
I'm 49.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.